the thing. All right. I invited George to my house, and he started talking, and I was like, we need to record this because it is brilliant. Tell me your thoughts on the election.
Well, it's going to happen next week. I don't know. I really don't know. Always there's been a candidate that was maybe the obvious choice. And I really was hoping that Patrick Brown would be around to take an election that would have been hand delivered. But no! The crony, shitty, corrupt, stupid people that are in charge knew they were going to be getting their asses kicked. So they fabricate some bullshit about him, ruin his career, and elect a buffoon to replace him. So now, I just don't know. We've got shit or shit or shit. So, what do you pick? You throw it away? I can't do that. Do you spoil your ballot? No. I think I'm going to have to vote for...
Don't tell me. Nobody wants to know that stuff. Nobody wants to know. Don't. I mean, I'm not very political. I'm not. But also, isn't that just a topic that you're not supposed to talk about with people?
That's the general wisdom, but the problem is we end up with a whole lot of people who can't talk about it because they've never had the chance to figure out how to discuss politics. So,
all right. So
the politicians know this. That's why if you look at all the advertising, all the debates, all of the social media, it's all about seeing how scared they can make you about shit. If we look into it a little deeper and are able to have some free conversation, some healthy debate, it's like religion and politics. I know that common wisdom says we shouldn't talk about them, but we've got to the point where we just can't. So it turns into mudslinging, name-calling, believing and doing things just because you've always done it.
Okay, so I don't know where to go with this. I don't know where to go with this because I don't talk politics. That's...
We live in a free country where we're supposed to have democratic elections, but they limit our choices. They make it difficult for people, normal, average people, to do it. I've always said, by the time they get elected to something, they have debts to pay to the people who put them there. And that's when our money gets spent on stupid stuff. I don't mind paying the taxes. Quit wasting it.
What would your suggestion be? I don't know, for people who are thinking of either, like, what does throwing your vote do?
It just counts for nothing. It doesn't count against anybody. It doesn't count in favor of anybody. It just doesn't count.
So you don't think that it would make an impact? You don't think that those ones that are because they get counted, right?
True, but it would have to be done in numbers that make it count. If there are, I don't know how many millions of people are eligible to vote. Let's just say it's 10 million in Ontario that can vote, and 25,000 people vote none and above. Statistically, that means squat. You'd want to have 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 people doing it. Then that makes a difference. but
Like it might count for something. It might make people have a heads up. So then, I don't know, if we're dealing with, having three major parties that nobody's platform looks reasonable, and then you've got, like, I haven't even seen any Green Party stuff up.
They don't get the chance to participate in the big debates. They
So
don't have as much money behind them.
Okay, so if just because people didn't know who to vote for and they voted for their Green Party candidate, like, what would happen? What would happen if the Green Party actually got in because nobody wanted to vote for anybody else, but they didn't want to throw their vote away?
We should ask Bob Ray how that felt when he got voted in. He wasn't supposed to be the premier.
Oh.
But everybody was tired of long years of liberalism, I believe it was. And they wanted change. They didn't want more of the same, and NDP government.
Okay.
So the first thing they would have to do is, after they're done saying, we fucking won? Really? Now what do we do? My hope for that would be that maybe it wouldn't be more of the same old. Stop wasting the goddamn money, politicians. It's not yours to do that with. It is ours.
So then what do we do? What's the thing to do? Are we all stuck in a big I don't know? Like, there's got to be some kind of action.
I suspect that the NDP will form the next government. I really hope it's not Doug Ford's party. I would have voted Conservative because usually after we've had a couple of terms of Liberals, we're so in debt that we need some conservatism to bring us back around, to follow the cycle. But I don't know if we can afford it right now.
Well,
I like the spirit of the NDP. I probably would maybe consider it because I like the spirit of it, but it sounds a lot like the same old crap we've had for the last 15 years.
so how do we talk about politics? How can we start a dialogue about politics that educates people, but we don't get all crazy about, let's not talk about it? Because that was my first instinct, to be like, oh, you don't talk about religion or politics at the table, right?
True, because it usually gets into a heated debate. People start swearing, especially if some people have had some drinks, etc., etc. Maybe the kitchen table isn't the best place to do it, but we have to stop being afraid to talk about it.
All right.
Maybe coffee shop, maybe, I don't know, discussion groups online. It's too easy to be a cowboy.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would you say to people who are getting all of their information from memes on Facebook? Like, where do you go?
That's the problem. There's really no one place to go. You have to kind of look at everything, look as deep as you can, and ask some difficult questions in your mind. What do you really believe in?
Right. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there because this has been almost 10 minutes.
Wow.
And
maybe this is